do I want you to say for 5 minutes? This group was organized in 1995. But we would have meetings. I get better food for my money. I pay 200 bucks, I have ham and eggs. Today I pay 300 pesos. I get a cup of 3-in-1, not even fruit. But what has happened is there's been a revolution. Because when Mr. Osorio took over, it being every week, it's now 6 million pesos. But now the thing goes to 12,000 people every week. The thing meets every week, 7:30, because all of us are busy. You make it 900 come, right? And Mr. Osorio, as you know, is the one who pioneered with Sixto Rojas, the money market. He's a freaking genius, right? He's entered new territories, entered agriculture. But his innovations, which you can read in his books, one of which is hard to understand. You'll find the guy's a freaking revolutionary. Now, I like it at Manantansi because he's also revolutionary. But I've known Mr. Osorio for many years. I've known you just a short while. But if your bite is as good as your bark, you are what we need. And I went to Dartmouth. I told this when you came here. You gotta talk to this guy. I said, yes, I know him. He's in high value crops. No, you be with him, office and secretary, right? And I'm the only group that Dart talked about in his first day. I'll talk to one group every month. What's that group? It's 5 conditions. I got the 5 conditions. It's farmers and fishermen. Mr. Pamituan, I have the biggest farmer fisher coalition. I have 32 federations of farmers. Many of them former leftists, but pro-poor. But you cannot do agriculture without business. I have Philippine Chamber, and the guy who made that restaurant is Philip Gomez right here. He's now the chairman. He brings us to different countries, right, to get new technology. There he is in blue. And his foundation that helps the poor, fantastic, it's a good businessman. And I businessmen because they make money, but those who don't make money, they might fail. Make money just there. The third group is called Academe. Tito Pantado, you're with the guy, the good-looking guy, Pantado, very good. A little old, but still brilliant, right? Okay? International, he presented one of the 5 coalitions. We will be there every single month, right? Okay? And then Henry Lim of Y wants to join us. I said, Dar, you cannot. We don't need 5 coalition heads. Farmers and fishermen, agribusiness, academia. The foreigners to women, and the biggest rural women from 42 provinces. PKKK, sounds communist, right? In fact, some of them were communists, but they're not. Communist doesn't work. And the last one, of course, is multi-sector, composed of the big guys, Makati Business Club, PCA, those guys. Right? Okay. Now, the question is, what is our role here? When Mr. Osorio said, can I be president? I said, absolutely. You know why? This place is the best technology. It ain't going nowhere, man. And I asked Mr. Osorio, who rent me his office incidentally for free for 1 year. You know that? Sixto Rojas after Bangkok, and me and Garcia, we began a partnership called SKR Managers. And he gave us the office for free. And then Mr. Rojas, he saved me 6 million pesos. Why? Because I bought, you might know this, I bought land at 5 pesos, I sold them at 7,000 pesos. How do you know I get 7,000? Because during the crisis, I did some. In other words, what I'm saying is that, and then finally, my biggest achievement is I got the companies out of my town in Balay. Why? I'm a sugar guy, right? I took my sugar, and they said I'm stupid, I planted sweet potatoes. Average yield is 3.5 tons. Me, first yield is 32 tons. How did I get companies out? And you know, they didn't tell them to where. I went to the company's place because I'm a former left of center guy. Warrant for arrest 9 years. Me, subversion, but I'm not a public. Oh, but don't kill me. Now, what the heck's wrong? The farmers are poor, they want to fight. And this guy is the brother mayor, is screwing them. I said, I'll pay you all the money, let me handle it. I bought my sweet potato, they made so much money, families left. So that's why I love agriculture. I'm the head of cement in 6 countries, right? But I went to Los Baños, the major to be. One day I'll become like him. One day like him. I want to help the farmers with it. Now, I'm going to do this very quickly. We, for the first time, have mission, and objectives. First time we did it, right? Last year under Osorio's leadership. Okay, first, vision. I will read this fast. We're non-partisan, Source of information, management. That's what DTI does not have. DTI has that. DTI does not have that. As a secretary of DTI, 8 years and day, 2 years, and it's night and day. Day is DA, day is DTI, D is night. You know, we got to do that, right? Okay. So I want that to talk. It's a research guy, you're an operations guy. To go into agribusiness, okay. Number 2, mission. We'll get in technologies, but, okay, we're going to apply it to create jobs and incomes. That's the new one this year. 15 years, we we create jobs. Under Illusorio's leadership, we have a Sulu. You can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere. He did it in Sulu. That came from us, right? Okay, he's done that. But this year, he ordered me, to push the application. I'm doing that, right? Okay. Okay, next slide. Ito na, last slide na ito. Well, okay. We'll use digital media. Okay, bago na ito, bago usapan. Number 2, interaction. Members and guests. Yeah, that's why this guy, come a few times said, yeah, pare, but nawawala eh. Today, hindi mawawala. You know why? I've land back to give the money, I'll choose it later. I have the different things. I have DTI, I have land bank, and I have other people. And finally, clearing house, accumulate data, right? And I have a brilliant guy, he's magna cum laude, Cesar Gomez from First Solis. The Lopez group that didn't quite make it, which is why Manila took over. But it's a brilliant guy. Okay. Next slide. Incidentally, this was reviewed by us, right? This is the one. This guy came na baka. My God! Gano'n kakapal. Pinirma ni Pinero. Wala siyang cash flow. I went to the bank. Screw it, right? And I told the bank, because I used to lend money, I was the top agriculture lender in '83, for which I was thrown by private jet into the Marcos cabinet. Because I'm a freaking finance guy, right? Okay? And what we have to do is do cash flow, right? Okay? Then we have the CSR, of course. And then, remember Fortune Fishery. Mr. Philip, you will help us here. You're one of the best in the country. And we go to air. Okay, fine. Now, you will go in 3 minutes. I'm just saying this. You want this country to progress, do not rely on the old people. Rely on this guy. Of course, you're also very old, but we need new blood. Where's the new blood coming from? Is it gonna come from my Alianza Agricultura? We are fighting. The one who's from Davao all the way to Manila and Colorado, those are my guys. I'm with activists. Am I getting it from Agribusiness? Yeah, but Philip Wong is the chairman. He made it right. Okay, but we need more, and it's right here, right? And we need every single week, right? Okay, where are you going to get it from here? Okay. So I'd like to say, before you go, that today, if you stay, you will find out what you're talking about. Today, I have the following. I will give you a story, and then you can leave, okay? But you gotta know what you're missing. I got 3 powerful speakers. You know, the first one I know her, she's top person in policy, WTO, Geneva, the whole deal. Now she's in agribusiness, for God's sake, okay? And she gave me a name, no? She said, I'm Carolyn Castro. I said, Carolyn, come on, I've been long time. You're not Carolyn. No, they call me Alan for short. I was known for Alan. So this is my joke, and then you can leave, right? You know, I met a girl in Virginia, beautiful girl. I'm not a sexist, I'm a feminist. But this is what really happened, right? So I said, I'm Ernesto. But you can call me Ernie for short. Like Carolyn, you can call her Alan for short. I'm Ernesto, you call me Ernie for short. What's your name? I'm Virginia. You can call me Virgin for short.
That's the joke.
That's right. That's not the joke. That's not yet the joke. That's not, you see, he's smart, but sometimes he's wrong. He's wrong. I'm Virginia, you can be Virgin for short, but not for long. That's the joke. Okay, now who are they? I'll call you to the front. First, Carolyn, we call it Carol for short. Alan for short, please, here. Okay, here's. Okay, here we go. Who is she? One of the top policy people went to Agribusiness assistance. It's going to go through revolution. You know, I told Darren again. Do you know why the 5 positions came up? We are sick and tired of DAs. Mamma mia. So we got Los Baños in there, right? Okay, fantastic. And she's assistant. Okay, that's great. The next one, I'm proud to say that the secretaries and heads used to report to me. Because I was old, not because I was good. One of them is Ramon Lopez, used to report to me. Secretary. Representing him right now is a guy called Jason Depositor. Not Jason. He's now in the operations group. Alright? And ASEC. He reports to the former mayor. I like that. We got to deal with the freaking LGUs, right? They got all the money and all that. Okay, she put the club, she said, okay, DA, right? Mon Lopez. And Lopez, for the first time, thanks to Philip. Philip, you're still here?
Philip, I think went to the others.
Yeah, went to the city. We got Lopez to address, right? The 42 champions. Kasi I love farmers, but they can't make money, right? It's not sustainable. So the farmers, they're not in touch with the farmers. So, Mon Lopez, there, you now report, no? His boss is former mayor and now secretary. Then, the most important for me is land bank. Why? Land bank lends 5% of their money. It used to be 8%. 5% of their money to small farmers. And you know, they are universal bank. If they don't make the ROI, they're out. So they have to make money. But I don't blame them because farmers, they don't know how to make feasibility studies now. They've grown their agriculture portfolio to something like 25%. But other banks is 100%. Right? So they went to revolution, and President Kiner said in his speech, I will abolish land bank because you're not lending to farmers. Guess what? I have 3 inputs in the president's speech. One input is that credit of our money, 2% of our whole money goes to agriculture. And land bank and agriculture bank, 5% goes to small farmers. I don't blame them because they got nothing to do it. But 20% should be 100%, right? Okay. So land bank. Who do we have? I have Ed De Guzman, who do the nuts and bolts. Ed. Okay. Ed De Guzman. And the one in the center has got to be Ed Lozano, the Assistant Vice President for Program Management. All right, there we go. So for me, the guy in the barong is the most important. He got the money. Now, why did I ask them to come? Because in the last few months, when Soria gave me the job of creating business, I found out, okay, that business cannot operate without the environment. Now, DS 40 billion. I'll tell you, do you know if you do hybrid seeds, you get 8 times ROI of irrigation. And if you want to talk about irrigation, seeds kasi, no? You get hybrid, times 8. What do they have in the RTL? They don't even allow hybrid seeds. Ridiculous. So the private sector, this group, must come in and help. You know, Rex, you all told us about your frustration here. I share that frustration. As a matter of fact, I talk to them and I say, do you know what? You know why people kidnap and do bad things? They're desperate, or some are crooks. You know, you go to the farms, go to the rice farms now, right? Do you know what's happening there? They're earning less than half, and they keep on saying they will not do what the law requires them to do. The law requires them that if the tariff is straight, you must put safeguards. I did 7 safeguards. I spent 6 million pesos. I said I have cement in 6 countries, right? Agriculture is much easier to me, they won't even lift the figure. They won't even finish the study, right? I love DAR. But there's got the people like Pamintuan, etc. And of course, people like Carolyn, but not for short, to go there. She's got to get support. The lower levels, you know they're on our side. They need to put the same part. The bloody politics is messing things up, right? So this group has the credibility. I think none of you are losers, no? Diba? We're winning to a few, but credible. Okay. So, these people, and the last one, okay, land bank, the money people, agricultural technology, DTI. DTI is now going to help. I told her, my passion in the chamber, which Mr. Philip encouraged me to do, is called roadmaps. I did a 10-minute roadmap. I know the roadmaps. I'm the head of all roadmaps industry. Agriculture, medyo wala na. Right? So he told me last meeting, March, etc. And now, the roadmap is totally useless. Unless you have a team that will make it happen, led by the private sector. Right? Okay. And you, Mr. Pamintuan, when Dark told me he knows you, put you to high value, I said, you're doing the wrong thing. You gotta be right in with the Secretary of Labor. Okay, right in. All right, what are the things that came up? I'll tell you what. Why DTI? Because agriculture is production. Business is farm to market, value chain. This is what you guys know, right? So Lopez said in front of everyone, and Phil will agree to this, he's now going to help in the actual roadmap, so it's not production, right? Okay? And the roadmap cannot exist unless there's a team. The team has got to be led. You know Tessie Sicosa, right? You heard of Tessie Sicosa? I was in charge of Pinatubo for a while. And my chairman was DTI. Zenny Maglay, remember that? Wala nangyayari. Tessie was co-chair. No. Tessie, you're the chair. My God, the thing flew. You need a private sector to have a stake and to be a leader. And they know. When I was head of flagship programs, I was head of the biggest programs of Ramos. He offered me 2 department secretaries. I didn't want to leave because I'm still young, so I get to stay. I took out all the ground bureaucrats. My office na wala lahat ng handle. I put in private sector in every single region to look at it. You need a private sector, else nothing will happen. But he's coming to one guy. We must leverage not his yabang. He's not the one mayabang. He's telling the truth. He must leverage his expertise. First, with other groups. Gaut Kalinga. The first group of Gaut Kalinga is mine. Do you know that? I started Agribusiness, right? Okay? Yeah, Philip is a big shot there. They said last time. We must use the Boy Scouts. In my house last week, I had 4 million people in my house. What do I mean? That trees have become 30% less, right? Okay? You know, they plan to go and take a trip. No more. So 4 million people, the head of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, committed. They planned 3 trees at 12 million. You know what I mean? It is time for the president to wake up. And this group is the one with the business and the insights and of course the success measured by your success in business, no? All right. So details can help. Okay. They couldn't come today. Agriculture to me is the best thing. Darn is brilliant, right? He should be helped by this guy, Rene, who tends not to listen too much. We need to add operations business to DAR, right? Okay. Agri's here. But she's good. She's policy, international, and now business. That's fantastic what we need. And of course, the most important is land bank. You know, see, the president said he used to report me. I'm sorry. Because he said that in front of her. He said it in his speech. I'm going to abolish you. He said it again. So when I said, oh what? Kaya mo ba? Hindi mo kaya. Hindi mo kaya. As your former boss, hindi mo kaya. Ano ba hindi mo kaya? Because I used to lend money. Universal Bank must make money. You cannot make money if you really serve the farmer. Said, no, I'll do it. And in fact, she promised a lot. Double the value. Frankly, let's help her, right? Because dati, maraming collateral ganyan. Now, with Mr. Lozano, who's an innovative guy, right? And of course, helped by, Ed De Guzman. They'll do things because I heard some people play. Sabi ko, hindi yun rather sector. She's relaxing things. She's going to use cash flow, not collateral. That's what I mean. Cash flow. And number 2, let me share with you. I do not blame you if you went to 5%. My God, they'll never pay back. But you got to go to people like this, right? The agribusinessmen. And if their load saving is here, you increase it based on cash flow and credit. Yeah, okay? So on that note, no? You can all go home. Except those interested. Alright, so let's go. Whatever is 1 minute, I will give the question, the answer, then open forum. No? I'll start it because I'm getting the questions that Luis asked me to attend to. He likes to make me photos and I'm glad of it because he's a freaking star. Right? You're over there, right? Okay, well, that's your last. That's yours. Okay. Let me start. Let me get the money for the rest. Let me start with DTI. Very simple. Or DTI. There's a law that said, kasi you guys are complaining, matagal ang bureaucracy, natin, nagagay, etc. Di ba? Bureaucracy. We are not progressive because of government. Kung saan they're negative. They're not They're negative. They screw us with all the bureaucracy, right? Frankly, they also help us, but overall, you compare us to Singapore, right? Neck to neck. But they do well. And I'm a great follower in Lopez. I'm great for I know them, and they're very good. So just say, no, in operation, there's a thing called ease of doing business. No? What is this? And is it for real? I mean, if we go pay, we really get faster action. Mga 1 minute or less answer.
In doing ease of business, the DTI's role is to help mostly our MSMEs. And in our office, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Regional Operations Group, our main focus is the one town, one product. So we help them by giving them the opportunity to do their LTO, FDA, so things like those. So through our regional offices and provincial offices, the DTI extends its helping hand to our MSMEs, mostly in the provinces. Because, for example, we will be needing products and like, for example, crops and everything that needs to be developed. It will be part of our product development.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It has to reach. But I want to tell you, I talked to two USECs about this. They're kind of busy, but I'll tell this now. DTI is the one that's created this group called Anti-Rent Authority. They created it, came from them. And they really know what to do there. All right. Okay. So, the next one will be agriculture. Alan. Caroline for long. Alan first. Alan, you've done policy, you've seen although the way it screwed us when it started by cutting our tariffs without safeguard measures. I'll not ask you about rice because you might get into trouble. But I'll ask you about this. You're not in the agriculture assistance system, no? All right? It's called AMAS, Agricultural Marketing Assistance Service. Okay. If there's a problem here, for example, avocado, say they don't do this, for example, or say they don't trust it, for example, and they have avocado, right? Now you have to go on your own, look for people. But AMAS is there, right? You've done policy, you not practice. What can AMAS do? What does it offer?
Good morning po muna sa ating lahat. Actually, you said it, like, Ordonez invited us to join, but I really don't know. Kaya po, nagugulat din ako sa style. But just to share po, sa policy po kasi when I was there, we used to be involved in the negotiations where we look into different parameters to engage our trading partners. Of course, we're tinitingnan po natin yung mga traction ng industries. But when I went to Agribusiness, the Agribusiness Marketing Assistance Service, our division is involved in market linkages. I missed a few of the slides of Mr. Kamantuan, but I agree with him on the different yung po mga present na importante po. What is more problematic, at this po sa point of view ko po, being new in AMAS, I've been there for only 5 years and maybe adjustments po. With reference to helping our farmers on market linkages, we have the production, but sometimes the information is quite inadequate with reference to the requirements of the market, the requirements of the buyers. We're asking po kasi our buyers to give us specifications on their requirements so that we can share this with the producers. Because of course, the producers sometimes they do produce within the bureaucracy po kasi, like, let's say, for us, meron po kami field operations service who handles the production side. So we are working with them and the production areas are in the region. So kami po, we have counterparts in the regional field offices. We are also quite dependent on them to give us information. So when they ask for inquiries, we really have to get information from the buyers if they could give us the specifications. If those are lacking, medyo doon po yung difficulty namin with really matching po successfully. That's why it's important po na while we are asking information from our producers as to the volumes and the products they have available, nahihirapan din po kami kung wala po kami makuha from the buyer's side. Because like, for instance po, there was a time when there were really a lot of onion, we were seeking markets. But pag pumunta na po yung buyer, they said it's not the right size, it's not the right variety, mga ganun pong instances. So what we can do is just, at least po yung mga nagagawa namin sa division namin, we have fairs and yung po mga fairs and exhibits namin for both fresh and processed. We invite our farmers to join para po they can sell their product, and then we also invite buyers po to come, so they can do negotiations. We have facilitation lang po. We don't really intervene dun po sa transactions nila. We don't dictate to ano yung dapat yung presyo, but we give our farmers information kung ano po yung prevailing prices because we have a monitoring unit who looks into the prices in selected prices po. So yun lang po, sir. We just wish to highlight po na sa successful market match, importante po talaga na ma-match yung kailangan po ng ating buyers dun po sa tinanim po ng producers. Yung producers naman po, we try to really get as much information para po mag-guide din sila. But yun po yung siguro nagiging concern on both parties. Yung po, paano po talaga mag-match yung tamang specification sa available na need po ng ating mga buyers.
Okay, this is a challenging group because I've heard that for 20 years, right? Yeah, and have you ever met this good-looking guy called Tommy? Have you ever met him?
Actually, Sir David po, but I've heard about him. He has been, I think, engaging different officials in the department. Sir, I've heard your name po.
Is he happy? Is he happy? He's been engaging me for a long time. Is he happy?
From his comments earlier, I has some frustrations, but he is helping out.
Very diplomatic, spoken like a good bureaucrat, right? But you know, I like her. She's one of the best. I'll tell you why now. Only last year Aspire came up, right? This bloody much money. When I went to the DTI, right? Foreign exchange, the fairs, right? They don't ask how many jobs did you create. That's my job with you incidentally. When I went to the DTI, I introduced ISO 9000, I introduced management by objectives. All this I got marketing. I'm fed up with these booths without saying what happened and how much it produced, which is what we've been doing here. We gotta do that, right? And now, the market matching they do is better, but it's still not good enough because one of our 5 coalition said Bobby Morris, right? And he said, I have to do Aspire. You know Aspire, right? I tell you that. Is Aspire useful?
Sir, Aspire is a venue where other than promoting products to the placers, it's supposed to be conducted side by side with some investment forum where we can invite resource persons to present certain investment opportunities or market opportunities, and then stakeholders are invited so they can do some networking among themselves as well.
Okay, the reason I Aspire, private sector is involved. Before that, hindi masyado. So since they came in, are the meetings more productive or same as before? Same as 6 years ago?
Sir, the Aspire is being conducted at the regional level. I understand, sir, most of our regions have already conducted and launched their Aspire, and some are continuing. Coordination is with the PCCI, since it's in the region, it's with the local chambers. And as far as I know, sir, it's effective naman because they're doing the event, and at the same time, when PCCI is doing their area business conference, we also engage the regions to do a side-by-side event with reference to investment proposal.
I'll be a lawyer. My 8 subordinates, 6 were lawyers, I'd go to law school to observe. You haven't answered the question. The question is it more effective now than 6 years ago? You said it's effective. Is it more effective now? Because now there's much more private sector participation. Is it more effective now than 6 years ago when they were answering? Oh, you have to answer. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
Sir, I can't actually say it's effective
More
because
effective.
6 years ago I was in policy and I was at the Agribusiness for Private. I cannot really compare because of the nature of the work there. But I know for a fact that the efforts are being enhanced to really improve the partnership with the farmers in the private sector.
Okay. So I interpret that. Enhanced means it became better. So I'll just be a poet and enhance it to become better. Because the private sector is more involved, right? Okay. Now, for most important, now is your boss, right? Before you let the boss speak, let us know what you do so we know who to talk to. The boss kasi are there giving speeches and all. The guys really doing the real stuff sometimes are the people, the boss. What do you do in land bank and how do you think you will help them? Or because what Cesar has said, right, is that he'll double the number of farmers, double. God, that's hard to do, right? Especially with universal bank, but they've said they do it. So tell me, your program is one of the top program guys around. What are you doing differently now that can make you think you can double the farmers, etc., etc.? What are you doing different to give us hope? Because so many people come here and they want 3 C's, not character, collateral. Right? What are you going to do differently? What's the change? What's the change that told says in Borromeo? I won't be abolished because I'm going to do what the president wants, right? Okay? Okay. First of all, I like it. It's very innovative, right? That's one thing. We went to Guadalupe, and I said, you got to help these guys make these studies. Can you please increase by 1,000% the amount of people going? You can't wait there. He said, yeah, I never got around to do it. Increase by 5%, right? So our job in this group, right, is to go and then monitor and then report. Now we are happy that we can report to the top, right? Okay. So we want to know what's different now before the real boss talks. Ikaw muna, I want the guy, what you're doing, then you get to give the real story or the party line.
Good morning. I'm Eddie Guzman. I'm one of the team head of a department under the headship of LBP Lozano. In our department, we have 5 teams. One team is handling matters regarding rural banks, programs that are funded by ODAs, and another for retail projects like the ESEF, RCEF, and all the other
What are
programs.
you do differently now?
And my team is I'm heading the value chain financing team. Okay. Regarding the discussions earlier, all the programs we are implementing, we are adopting the value chain financing concept. So
That's new, bago yan, bago.
already, yes.
No longer the collateral based.
And we are strengthening that model even more with new programs being offered by our partner agencies. For example, ADB is coming out with a special project to develop more the implementation of these value chain concepts. And non-banks, one of the among other banks, we submitted our intent to participate in that project. And another project project of DTI for the rapid project, which will be implemented in Region 8 and Mindanao. So in this program, DTI will identify buyers, and then ano po yung kanilang kailangan. Ang kanilang priority commodities for now is cacao, coffee, coconut. So, magsimula po sa buyer, saka po sila mag-identify ng mga small farmers, cooperatives, para po magbigay ng grant. Magbibigay po sila ng partial grant of up to 60%, and for 40% po ipapapinance po sa data.
Okay. Today we won't go into the details, but we want to know the new direction. No? Neither collateral, value chain, etc. No? And since we're so good, Senior Vice President, she went to TPP land bank. She's not from the government. And now she's land bank. She's very, very good. She's formerly DTI, right? Which means she knows business as well, right? And of course, the man behind things, to move things to the head of DVP, Ed Lozano. 2 Eds, Ed squared, Ed. There is one, rather than repeating what he said, no? What is the main thing that will happen and why you think you can achieve that target of expanding agriculture loans, right, from its 25% or that level to double, etc.
Thank you very much. Just to add to what Ed was saying, 2 Eds are better than 1.
That's right.
to start with the son of the president. So after the son of the president, the bank president, Cecil Borromeo, presented to the president the plan of Land Bank for the next 3 years. And for this year, the plan presented to the president is to assist 1 million farmers. Assist meaning have a credit relationship with Land Bank. And for last year, we have assisted more than 1 million farmers, and with more than 200 billion supporting the agri-industry. And for the next 3 years, the 1 million target would expand to 3 million. And what are the things that we are doing differently now? Number one, we are increasing our touch points for small farmers and fishers. So we have already created 2 lending centers last year, and we are creating another 8 lending centers this year to increase our front lines that will deal with the small farmers and fishers. Number 2, we have increased our collaboration with the various agencies. Land Bank is mandated by law in coordination with the Department of Agriculture to implement the Agricultural Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. And under the ASEP, we have devised a policy with the DA that the interest rate for farmers will be 2% per annum. So if they would have a short-term loan that's for 6 months, then the interest rate would be 1%. That's good for acquisition of farm inputs and also acquisition and setting up of machineries and equipment. So we are not only assisting the small farmers, we're also assisting their organization, the cooperatives and associations, and the micro and small enterprises. The same interest rate of 2% per annum. The ASEP is an external fund. This is a fund downloaded by the DBM. So we are managing the fund. But for internal programs of the bank, we have also developed various internal programs where the interest rate we have reduced to 5% per annum because we're using our fund in a task cost. The ASEP fund does not have any cost as far as Land Bank is concerned. So we can lend it to 2% per annum. But we are reducing also the internal rate Land Bank at 5% per annum for small farmers and fishers. And the other one that we are also doing is that to change the credit delivery system. Previously, we are talking only of lending to conduits like cooperatives, associations, and the rural banks. And the rural banks, the cooperatives, the conduits lend to the small farmers and fishers. And that's where the interest rate is going up because we cannot control the rates that the rural banks are giving to the small farmers. So that conduit banks, right? But with the change in the delivery mechanism, Land Bank is now going into direct lending to small farmers and fishers. So we go to them, to the small farmers and fishers. And that to enable us to do that, aside from creating the programs specifically for small farmers and fishers, we have also assigned account officers that will cover all of the municipalities in the country. So they will be the ones to go to the farmers in those municipalities that they're assigned to and assist them in providing credit support.
Okay, we're going to open forum now. Before I do a soundbite for each one. DA is for me the most sincere, hardworking people, more than DTI. But some people at the top were politically appointed and they screwed around. Right? But it's people like Alan who have the historical knowledge and the passion and motivation to have, right? So we're very hard. When I saw her yesterday, I was so happy that he'd be sent here. I talked to the undersecretary yesterday, and he really full support with this, right? They've never heard about us. DTI, they've gone, but I'm practically DTI. I know that very well because he had the previous appointment. And of course, Land Bank, it says it is DTI, the Syrian, that knows well she's a woman. You know, women are better than the men, right? So we should probably do a damn good job. But all three, I think, DA, DTI, and then they're open to not only us moving with their new flow, but changing the freaking flow. I think we still have to change some flows here. Flows and flows. Flows and flows. They're better, but we need my question. And the Pamituan, I'm hereby challenging you not to embarrass me. Yeah, I told her you're good. If you're a fake, you'll embarrass me. No? So I'm very serious. We'll be taking director in this couple of weeks. Right? Okay, so open forum. Before open forum, the open forum. Okay, let's start open forum.
First question.
Yeah, first question.
Yeah. Okay. My background is more on finance, so I'd like to hear really more about this liberalization of loans and sustainability. I sense from the speaker earlier that we're still production oriented. You're opening up and helping small farmers. Okay, that's nice, very nice. But in the earlier part of our session this morning, you were not yet present. We were talking about the importance of marketing, the value chain of agricultural products, processing, post-harvest facilities, on towards marketing to the final consumer. Now, all of those things need also financing. Okay. So, I would like to propose that you, among the three of you, open up and consider financing also of not small farmers, but entrepreneurs or companies, entrepreneurial agricultural companies that need financing for them to do good marketing of agricultural products and processing, such as, for example, okay, cold storage, warehouses, mechanical dryers, trucks, dump trucks, silos, all the way through the logistics chain, packaging, small packaging plants. Now, previously, reading the rules of the ACF or whatever is the agricultural and DTA, it seemed to be limited and to agricultural inputs. And the traditional agricultural inputs are what? Seeds, fertilizers, tapos na. But that's not all of really the agricultural economy. The agricultural is complete up to the customer, to the final processor in Manila. So these are the missing links that we are afraid that we are kind of not avoiding, not consciously avoiding, but unconsciously, okay, forgetting to help also. So this is my plea to you, that when you said, okay, so we're not going to smell small farmers, it's nice, it's really, they need help. But don't limit yourselves now as land bank or DA or whatever. You should, and this is another reason why the commercial banks are not really complying. I just about 2 days ago I read they have not complied. So they have to be allowed to increase the scope of the usability of their loans, which right now seems to be limited also because that's not complying. It's not going to be earning us brownie points on the compliance to the agri law. So they say, I'll go back to the A na lang.
Point well taken. I want to let you know they already changed it. Okay? It's not part of that. It's already changed. So our efforts partly. Okay, go on. Please answer the question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for that suggestion, sir. Well, in fact, when we talk of lending to small farmers and fishers, the comfort level that we have is in you. When you look at the SMEs and the large agribusiness entities, we are looking more at you to give us a comfort level of lending to small farmers and fishers. Why? Because you are the market, the technology, the source of technology, and even management, project management. So market linkage is very, very critical also as a component when you look at financing small farmers and fishers. In our agri-value chain financing program, we provide credit support to all of the chain actors within the spectrum of the value chain, from input supply to production, processing, and marketing. So in the processing and marketing, we're looking at the SMEs and the large corporates. We can provide support for working capital, they need it, for the modernization of their processing facilities, or for the expansion of their processing facilities, even for the construction of warehouses and other fixed assets. We can also provide financing for the logistics, for the transport. We have clients that we will finance barge for the delivery of commodities from Mindanao to Cebu and Cebu to Manila. So we have our credit facilities that support the small farmers and fishers on the one hand, and also the SMEs and the large corporates on the other hand. And the critical is that to be able to link these players. The experience of the bank is that when we talk of the requirements of the large corporates, for example, for raw material, in most cases, the supply side cannot meet the requirement of the buyers on a sustainable basis. Kaya yun po yung doon din po kami nahihirapan. Plus the fact that there are certain cases that we will talk to small farmers or cooperatives. I think Secretary Ern is very, very familiar of this, what they call the pole vaulting issue, which has eluded us, the solution has eluded us for so long. And that issue is on the sustainability of the tie-up.
Okay, she was asking me, he will be like this. If you recall, this was called for people who were having trouble getting action. So I thought there'd be 6 people. So actually the main purpose here is not so much the policies, because we can have lectures on that. The main policy is what is your problem, and someone here will know your name, you'll know his name, and you're gonna make this happen. FDA just called me, because there's a person who was said, tagal ng license. So I called the top FDA and the XLA. I'm just saying that before you go to the general questions, right? There's some specific objections. Head of the military, so many people, right? But what is the specific thing you want to happen? Because we can talk about policy, we do that in other lectures. Today, anong problema nangyari dito? Hindi magkalaw-kalaw. Sabi nyo, hindi kayo makausap kasi mayroon kausapin, pasabi masyadong mababa, pinapanikot kayo, dito na hindi kayo papanikot. Before we go to the general questions, which to me is not as important as specific problems, can we know specific problems? Today, specific problems, ano ba yung, what is the state of credit in Yugoslavia, right? I want to say, I have this thing, the bloody guy tells I cannot do it because you are using collateral. Sinabi ko sa inyo, yung sagot na sabi, hindi niya kinusap ito eh. For example, constructor, right? He thinks it's not part of, it is part of Agribusiness. Hindi na noon eh. Pwede na yan. They change it. We want to proudly change part of that. Alright, and this group has there. So, can we give priority to those with specific questions? You've used your airtime, your last priority. So brilliant, right? Mamaya ka na. Yung mga hindi pa nagsalita masyado. Dito pagtago, who represented the country of DTI with Dark?
My question is very simple, very direct to linking to small farmers, because there's been a problem for a long, long time. You said that the length of the loan is only 6 months or 1 season. Now, this is deeply. I'm an entrepreneur, and I know the value of capital. But when I make a loan, and it's only for 1 cycle, 1 cropping season, I can't use that loan because it is too oppressive. The interest may be too small, but in 6 months, when all the amount of money I receive are paid back to the bank, then I'm in trouble. Now, I'll give you many examples, but I wish that your loan to small farmers should be at least for 2 years. Because in that sense, you collect the interest, but the payment of the principal, is long. Now, they said, how about the 5-6? Bakit pinapatronize yun? It's patronized not by farmers, but by traders. You know, because gestation period of return is very short. Ang farmer, 4 months, walang kita yan. Kaya, how can you not maintain the repayment of the loan for at least 2 to 3 years?
Yes, sir. We are providing the farmers a credit line of 2 years. Ang linya po nila 2 taon. So for example, their project is corn production. The gestation period of corn is 4 months. And we're giving them 2 months to market. So to convert the corn produce into cash. So it takes them about, we're giving them 6 months. So pag binayaran po nila yung utang, then we'll give them another loan. Because their life is alive for 2 years. So ganun po yung nangyayari. Now, if the project is for example, cacao, which takes a longer time to the gestation period is longer, then we're giving them a term of loan of 7 years. Term of loan of 7 years with a grace period of 2 years. Kasi po, wala pa tayong harvest na on a commercial level for the first 2 years. So the third year, they will start to amortize their loan, and they're giving them 7 years to pay the loan, including the 2-year grace period. So, yun po yung, but we look at the cash flow. We look at the cash flow. Kasi we were into project-based financing where we look at the project as the main source of repayment for the loan. So we look at the projected cash flow. And that's also the same for fixed asset. So we look at the projected cash flow, but the term of the loan should not be more than the economic useful life of the facility or the asset.
Okay. Just wait for the mic. Where's the mic?
Thank you for coming. Very timely. I think I will be seeing you guys. In the Calabarzon area, we are developing a 400,000 hectare cow plantation system underneath the coconuts. We have the international markets for that. We need the planting funding, plus setting up a value chain system to process the cacao. In Mindanao, we are developing another project, 10,000 hectares of IP lands to turn them into avocado plantation. Because the prices of avocado worldwide is getting higher, and the demands are getting stronger and stronger. But likewise, we will need to set up a packing plant for that. It's always planting and then setting up a value chain system, because without that, it's useless, right? We know that already by now. I'm happy that you have changed already the system from a collateral-based to a value chain and cash flow system. And so therefore, I'm really, really very interested with this one. We're setting up another plant in the General Santos City area, probably worth something like $54 million. Maybe we will come over to you and discuss that as well, because it's going to do massive food processing for coconuts and for vegetables and so many other things. I think I'm just telling this so that I can come over and see.
Sige sir, maybe we can get your contact details and set up kung kailan po kayo available for a meeting and we can discuss the project.
Morning. How can you help farmers who are past due in their production loans?
Can you give your name?
I'm Sunny Pedosa. We're doing corn in Zamboanga del Norte. We started a value chain product, but we were hit by El Nino. And so our loans with postal banks have become past due. And also the farmers' loan has become past due. Is there a way that you can help farmers with past due loans to plant again? Because they will need additional help to plant again, so that we cannot help them anymore in the financing. Before we help them with seeds and fertilizers. But our finances are also out, and we cannot help them anymore. So is there a way that land bank can now help these farmers who are past due because they have not collected on insurance when they were hit by El Nino and La Nina? So right now the farmers have not been planting, so we don't have any project with them in the farm.
They are past due with land bank or the other banks?
They are past due with Postal Bank.
Postal bank.
And now Postal Bank is with Land Bank already. So the loan has been passed on to Land Bank. And so the question is, can you help these farmers who are past due now to recover? Because the only thing that they can recover is when they can plant again. And if we do not give them that credit, they will not be able to service your loan either. So we had initial talks with Land Bank and they say they can help if we send them a MOA, memorandum of agreement, and then the marketing agreement that we will buy. Those things we can do. But giving those farmers with past due money, that is not under our control.
Yes, we can. We can look at the past due loan of the farmers and execute or develop a plan of payment. Then we can refinance. So essentially what we do is we restructure and we provide refinancing. Or it's, we can develop a plan of payment and then we provide refinancing anchored on the marketing agreement that you have with the farmer.
We can do that, but now is February and the planting season is April and May. Can we have that financing in place before the planting season? Because after the planting season, there will be no more farmers. It's very risky now to plant again. So, can we have that restructuring plan and initial drawdown of the financing by about May the latest?
How much is are we looking at as the amount of loan for?
How big is the land?
How big is the land?
How big is the land?
It's a 200-hectare ready for planting, but the financing is not there. These are individual farmers that we had. We rented the land, and then we put in farmers to. It's some sort of a corporate farm that we did. Corporative. But now the farmers are there, and we have no capacity to finance them. And it's planting season again, April and May, and they're past due, so we cannot give them the funds.
Yeah, we can get the details and then we can work it out. Generally, the rule of thumb is that for the policy of the bank is that for a loan of 15 million and below, we, as long as they have submitted the documents, the approval time is 15 days. For a loan of more than that, the approval time should not be more than 45 days.
200 hectares at 50,000, that would be 10 million.
In fact, we can have it financed under the ASEP program. That will be faster.
But the farmers are not cooperative, individual farmers.
We can finance individual farmers.
Thank you.
I'm Lito Kapusa from Pangasinan. I have a small farm. I raise two products. One is the Calabas, SH ang dulo, at saka isa yung Rosel. Now, may Rosel siya about 40 hectare, and the gestation is only 7 months. Now, you mentioned about loan of 1% for 6 months. The other product, the Calabas, which I process into wine, but that is very expensive to have it fermented somewhere else. So I don't know what package can I apply to finance this activity.
Well, we can provide financing for production. We provide production loans. And again, the term of prepayment, the repayment would be dependent on the gestation period of the commodity, as well as the interest rate. For example, if the gestation is less than 6 months, then the interest rate will be just the 1% for the duration of the loan. So if it is more than 6 months or about 1 year, then the interest rate will be 2%.
How soon do I start paying the amortization?
That is based on the cash flow. If you harvest only one time, then you pay after harvesting.
Kasi we have to replant again after sales.
And then we provide you refinancing.
How about the calabash? The calabash is continuing fruiting and processing. So that's there's no cut of that. It continues to bear fruit, process. My problem there is in the fermentation.
Yeah. We look at the cash flow. Halimbawa, you harvest po, let's say, on a weekly basis. Then we look at the cash flow on a weekly basis. That will be the basis for the amortization schedule.
It's unfortunate that the guy from DTI left, so I would have to relegate this question to Yusek Ordonez, who used to be
I was
DTI.
promoted, I'm now secretary. There's two, it's you know that. I got the golden heart award of the best secretary.
Good, good. Actually,
I'm not under secretary.
3 p.m. today, I'm meeting somebody who actually invested in Bulan Sorsogon. He is about to start his cannery. He will be buying about 40 tons a day of fish from a community that used to have no market. He will be hiring at least 200 people from the area. And the problem here is, again, an issue on the power of the local government, the LGUs. The local government code has given too much powers to the local governments, so much so that regulations are difficult to implement. Now, I direct this to DTI because here is a guy who invested, ready to start, ready to hire 200 people, but finding difficulties with the local government. How can DTI assist in a situation like this? So 42 tons of fish daily that used not to exist, market that used not to exist, 200 people who will be hired, but local government rules are difficult at this point. I'll be very specific. My line is manufacturing. There are businesses that are prone to fire. There are businesses that are not. A sardine factory can never burn. It's a wet processing area. And yet, local governments are requiring sprinkler systems, which is absurd. So I know that people who invest in projects like this ought to be given assistance. And at this point, it appears like it's DTI who could possibly have suasion on the local government. So how do we contend with an issue like this?
May I ask Caroline, I'll answer that because I don't know. DTI has very few people. They have 7,000 extension workers, right? They are connected. It's a case where both the farmers and the housing are involved. But we need to point to DTI automatically may not be appropriate. Sometimes the more people are the farmers, right? So DA can in fact do that. And there is a unique opportunity of talking to the government managers. They don't want to talk to Alcala. They don't want to talk to Viejo. They're talking to Dar. I'm talking too much because Dar is following the rice. The rice thing is very big. So, Alan, ang problema LGU, di ba? Of course, they depend. You have people, you have the DTI, DA, if there's corruption, anti-corruption, renting, iba-iba yan, dami-dami. But does DA not have a role here? There are farmers that can benefit, and LGU is stopping them. This is DA.
Siguro po ang assistance na magbibigay ng DA through BIFAR kung fishery sector po yung involved is for yung pong aming BIFAR regional offices. They could be, siguro po, you could call their attention to your concern. I do not guarantee po kasi ka LGU po yun. But at least they can assist you po siguro. Please, in some ways, makita ko ano yung possible concern na pwede po sila pumasok. But in terms of, I guess po the partnership naman po should always be there between the LGU and the regional offices. So, ano po yung concern? Pwede po naman kasi magkalinawan siguro if they could possibly meet to see kung ano po ang ways na pwede pagtulungan. Yun lang po, sir, ang sinasabi ko. Before po kasi is under the department, but I really don't know how they operate. But sa amin po kasi sa AMAS po, meron po kaming legal counterpart. So meron po corresponding division din yung agribusiness marketing sa regional offices po ng DTI. So at the same manner po, I think, since ang department, then I think po they could also assist with some ways. Hindi ko po masabi kung paano talaga kayo matutulungan, but if that is something na may concern po yung industry, pwede po sila i-engage. Yun lang po, sir.
Okay. Alam mo, I'm a businessman. Right? This rhetoric from other people is something we've been hearing for 25 years. But I think Dar is different, and I think she knows policy and product. They do that. But let me just be frank, right? She says she has a counterpart that talks to before and other things, right? That's agribusiness, right? You talk agribusiness. If they don't have the right connections, you can forget it, right? But if my cousin is a cousin of the mayor, you talk to me, right? Let's be practical. He's a practical guy, right? So let me just do this. And if the DTI is malakas, you go to DTI, don't bother me. Alam mo, you know what I'm talking about. You tried before, but now there is something. This AMAS is strengthening now, okay? And maybe the club, we don't know. But you try it, okay? Don't just say automatically, yeah. But maybe you're correct. Maybe in most cases, they do have more crowd than me, but we don't know because this is clearly AMAS. But you try them. Maybe give them 2 days, then you move to DTI, and then you move to me. Right? Why do you move to me? Because we're connected to DAR and Lopez. We're connected there. And we're also connected to Congo because I'm the head of water. One of my husbands is the best friend. So we do what matters. But alam mo, before this thing, they go and they get frustrated that city. For example, Shano, my friend, she's studying Pelus. Ay, wala na yan. Hopeless na yan. Hopeless na yan. Because when it comes to that, wala na yan. But now maybe there's some hope. You don't know. No, what I'm saying, I hope is that if you don't need today, what I'm saying, the problem I have in government and private sector is that if government doesn't talk to private sector, and private sector goes to the wrong people, you're dead. This is a forum where we can connect with the right people, right? Okay. She's AMAS, right? She's head of market development, etc. So she knows that connection. At the end of the day, we do what she says, and maybe to help you a bit, right? Okay? Can I have your attention, please? I'm a jealous lover. Can you listen? What you do is not going away and doing your thing. You call her. Maybe you should call the regional person to wake up and then they'll talk to you. You talk to them and say, I meant Alan there. So what do I do? But Alan calls them and then sees you. You know what I talk about, right? Right? And then after that, we do that thing. But we and MEP and ECD, we want to do what Rene does so well. Linkage. But maybe even better than you linking to Lopez and Borrell because they didn't work for you, they work for me, right? You know what I mean? We do what works, right? But that's why we're talking to you. Hopefully, that's why I said there's not a policy, right? Specific problems. Now you, for example, right? Ang laki ng plan mo. Well, you gotta talk to them when they're
I will
dead.
go straight to them already.
Yeah, I understand. And yun naman, pwede ba lang you get one half. I mean, we're businessmen, right? Huwag na yung bureaucratic, all or nothing. I mean, if they fund only this and get that thing done and screw the rest, right? No, I'm just saying that that's how we work. Cesar Gomez, of course, we have good insights on this. But before we go to the great mind here, the great mind here is Cesar Gomez. He might do some policy thing. Any specific problems you have, that one problema, you guys, you don't have any problems, specific problem, or you need something back there. But, okay, then we go to the great wise man. Cesar. Ito. Actually, yeah.
Two specific instances. Well, I talked to Princess Lala last week. She is with the People's Alliance Multipurpose Co-op Coffee Plantation in Sulu. Her son is here. But this is something very concrete. She told me last week she would like to get funding from Land Bank for coffee, for vegetables, and for fishing. Lend the money to the co-op, and in turn the co-op will be the one to lend it out to the farm, to their farmers or fishermen. So conceptually, it's a goal. So I mean, unless the cooperative does not meet the criteria, but she is a representative in the coconut board, and I think even in the international No, sorry, coffee board, sorry.
So, but her son is here, I don't know. You may want to give details or what?
Yes, my mom is a member of, it's a board of the Philippine Coffee Board and the International Women Coffee Alliance. Her cooperative was founded in year 2008 and is basically mainly striving in coffee production. So they also offers seeded coffee. The plan is it's hard to loan to the farmers since we don't know when will the crop go bad or they will produce much to pay the loan back. So her plan is to the cooperative will loan the money and they will lend it to their farmers and the cooperative will be the ones to pay the loan back to the bank. So this way they can control how much they lend the farmers, how much each farmers got for what only they will need for their farming needs in the agricultural side. So because if we lend the farmer, let's say 10,000 each, not every bit of 10,000 goes to agriculture. Some goes to somewhere else, let's say gambling or whatsoever. So this is her plan, and I think it might be best if she can have a seat with you to talk more about the details.
I think na namit ko na kayo for several times already sa mga forums. Yung pong yung lending through cooperatives ay dati na po natin ginagawa po yan. So sa mga cooperatives po, meron po kami accreditation criteria, meron pong process. So every mga submissions ng documents, then kung kayo po ay ma-accredit, ay tinitingnan kasi ng landmark kung kayo ay mayroong capability na mag-relent sa mga members. Okay. Meron po tayong dalawang pondo na pwedeng itap. Pwede po natin itap yung aming internal na pondo or yung ASEP, pwede po ninyong pwede rin natin i-fund using ASEP. Sa ASEP po, ang loanable po per farmer ay nakabase sa farm plan and budget. So lahat po ng mga gastusin sa pagtatanim o maintenance hanggang po siya ay mag-harvest, ika-quantify po ninyo. At kung using ASEP fund, up to 90% po ng cost, pwede po nating pahiram bawat farmer. Pero hindi lang po dapat lalagpas ng 1 million. Siguro meron na siguro depende kung ilang hektarya yung pagtataniman ng farmer. So ASEP po, ang limit per farmer ay 1 M. So kung ilan po ang inyong member, kung meron po kayong 50 members, na tiga 1 million. So kahit mga 50 M, pwede po i-finance ng ASEP po yan.
Cesar, let me say this. You know, we can hear that, and we don't want to screw it, but that's not what we're here for. Maybe we are wrong. So you find out if you deserve it. If you deserve it, look at their criteria. What should be changed? Then you come to us, because you might be doing it for yourself. Right? You come to us and you'll see. I'll give you some examples. Customs. Right? 38 signatures. I went in, I made it 9 signatures. Right? I became the founder of the Retirement Authority. Okay? The guidelines. I came in. You know, my 5 restaurants, the 4 Chinese and the mestizo, Duterte hates. Taking on 1 million. Went from 90 to 190 million. Why? Wrong guidelines. You know, we're not here to say, give me money. Fine. Like this guy goes, okay. They don't know it, so now. But kung mali ang guideline, baka mali ka. But you tell us, and then we have our own experts here. You know, the government does not have all the experts, right? Okay? They already changed it up, baka kulang pa. And kung kulang pa, we're not supposed to say thanks for trying. No. For the benefit of the farm, say what specific section. Don't give me this bullshit about snowball. No. What specific section? What are you wording? Ganun tayo gumalaw. You must remember 25% of my life, I was a bureaucrat, right? Very often, my people do not know what's going on here, and they're not supposed to know. Private sector should not be lazy and say, screw it, this is to real estate, right? They say it's Section 5 and like that. Alam mo, as I said, no, I'm not an undersecretary, right? I was offered two departments. I said, no, yabang mo. Everyone's going to know. Kasi you know me, I'm a kicked out seminarian. I would have to like die, right? Okay? And I got flagship. What's flagship? The biggest projects came to me, right? And what I found out is this, agriculture industry lahat dyan. Do you know the cement safeguards which I did? We won. Rice na. Rice is so easy to win. Okay? You know the DTI couldn't do it, you know that? I had a 6 million peso lawyer because DTI does not pay 6 million pesos. I got the best. They're outside the government. We must get it like you. I think you're the best. So we must get you and get involved. And don't just say, no, we must engage you. And if you fail us, I'll be embarrassed because I put my faith in you. So blind faith, right? You know what I mean? So yung kayo, try. Kung hindi pwede, baka tama sila. Kasi I used to lend money, I'm the best. I told you I was flown in a private jet by Marcos to Baguio. Talaga mo siya. Because I had a secret. You know my secret? Don't lend to small farmers. My secret is what he said. Value chain is the secret. You cannot go to farmers' club. So I said, you got to 5%. Sama naman. Wala silang fiscal. You gotta go to guys like this, the market and all that. So sir, do you understand that? You're a beautiful mama, a princess, right? You try, and now you talk to them, maybe you're not going to try to, but if you fail, you see if their opinion is correct. If it's correct, you back off and do something else. If it's wrong, you tell them. They don't like, you come to us. Then we'll ask our people, and we might say, screw you, back off. Or we can say, tama. Then we'll go to the two ends are better than one, right? And then we go to our friend Alan here who might say, such a damn good project, then do it in several provinces. They don't know. My sweet potato. Why? 32 tons first. You know, I'm no genius, but I went to Los Baños until not a genius. It's just the right variety. They don't spread it. So she knows she'll spread it, right? And you old people like me in Los Baños, internationally known, you're not engaged right now. You're engaged here. Yeah, you're top-notch in the whole world. Yeah, Comes back, he's doing nothing. He's doing, actually, I like him. He's an entrepreneur. His own business. Now he's getting really rich. His daughter's running it. Fantastic. But all that effort, like extension, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous extension. 70,000 around there doing mayor's work, right? And now they come in, right? And then your person in Los Baños, I brought him and said, I don't like your UP Los Baños guy. He wants to do it one for the whole year. My God, there's 70, what I have one per year. What the hell, man? You must spread the minimum and spread it, right? And this the Contado knows that. So he told that to Dar. And Dar's not going, no, Dar is sworn up. But it's okay. What I'm saying is that government must hear from us. If we do not tell them it's our fault, and corrupt people, let them be corrupt. There are many good people like that. They can help. But if you guys just stay there and come to meetings like this and talk among yourselves, you're talking to the converted, useless. Not useless because there are many people that do that. Like he'll do it with others. Huh? But if he gets the government to leverage, they got 40 billion or something. I've seen it. I was there. You know, I was kicked out. I was fighting corruption. What happened when I left? All the scams came in. When I left DTI, they were crying. Do you know that? They were crying. When I left DEA, they were rejoicing. You know why? You know why? The corruption went up again. Nandun niya, makita mo. Right? And now they're good again. Right? You know what I mean? So I'm saying, LBP City, stop it already. Let's go. Cesar, you have a second point?
Yeah. Do you have funding for forestry? Because it's sad that David King isn't here, no? Because from Makati City, I learned the concept of sustainable commercial forest plantation. And I think Rene is also going to that. But I think the very first question is there funding for forestry?
If there's none, it's great, right?
We can finance it. We can finance the project. We can finance forest.
Yeah. So there is now. Because going back to the generic, it's a question of creating a model for sustainable commercial forest plantation, because we also have to go back to the IFMA. And so it's not just the funding per se, but understand the whole value chain. Because what excites me is that, let's say, I'm looking at the year 2050. I don't know if I'm wrong. But if by 2050, we've done our work right, we have something like 3, or Ernie says, Ernie, how many hectares of denuded forest do we have?
5.7 million and increasing.
Okay, if by 2050 we have all of those blooming reforested lands, that's exciting. No? So I'd like to sit down, and so it's not just lending, but really go through the whole forestry process. Because we're not just looking at the logs, timber, but really high-rise buildings in Australia, 10 floors from forest products, not anymore cement. Okay, so that's
Are you allowed to do it?
Yes, sir. Generally, we can finance the project, but we would like to look at the business model.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
ROI, the business model, and like for example, if you're talking of the land under the IPs, so
Yes.
that would be different arrangement.
What will be the arrangement with the IPs? Because basically, upland is heavily IPs. So may I ask, how is it different?
Well, they have to be involved in the
That's take for granted.
business model.
Fine. Ernie, two things, but not specifics and all. Can the group be our liaison with DTI, DA, Land Bank? Because we also want, for me, Mark AB's there, we'd like to be a cheering squad for government and not just throwing stones. No? So my thinking is, can we develop the group as a liaison with government? Now, this is different from if you have to take it up to the secretarial level or Duterte. We're clear about that. But lower than Duterte, the secretarial level, if they can be our counterparts, because we also want to identify success stories. Well, two things, success stories and what they're doing so that we can help disseminate it. So that's my question to you.
Okay, I will speak for DTI. You don't need DTI for this. Okay. Alam po ninyo, you're from Ateneo kasi. Ateneo, by the way. Ateneo is a very good conceptually. But they say you can make more money than that. Right? Because they're good conceptual. So I like what they said, no? We'll get everybody. You don't need everybody. You need Cesar, one guy. One guy. You don't even need Cesar. You don't need those guys. If you get the model, it's sharp, and you get the right people in, they can do it. They don't have the freaking model. That's another thing. Don't ever do the model. You gotta give the freaking model. That's my problem with government, no? Don't rely on government. You gotta come in. Alam mo, even the executive orders, you know, when a president, I write it for them. I don't say good, they don't know what I'm talking about. I have to write it and they can correct it. No? So Cesar, let me make that a challenge today. Bernie, nandiyan ko ba? Right now, Cesar Gomez is hereby challenged. Right? To get that freaking model, give it to them, we approve it, and it's running. Now, of course, to do that, we talk to whomever it talks to. No?
It's GA Ventures, our partner. GA
Good.
Ventures.
Sige, sige. But there's a face and a name. And that face name is Cesar Gomez, the mountain brilliant guy. And he did first voting on the niya. But you know, when there is a freaking group, they say coordinate or a group. I don't know who it is Nagtuturan So ngayon, ang turo natin in Guadalupe, Cesar Gomez. No, I'm telling you, Cesar, kasi you not in government. I know it. They need a private sector. Private sector man is so goddamn hesitant or skeptical. I guess pamituan, I'm pissed off again. But ngayon ka na, why only now, baby? Because you know what this guy did kasi he got frustrated. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now they said, okay, we have another person in dalawa. So if she gets sick, then give her name.
Good morning, I'm Christine Baldelama, also from the Agribusiness of the Effective
Yes.
Passport.
And I will pamituan, you're not to leave this room until these two leave this room. And they won't leave this room until we have a deal. Right? No, because, alam mo, this is, you know, I don't like also pag kayo, right? Oh, we'll meet next week. Anong nangyari nila? Hindi na, ngayon na. For example, what I want to do with it, I want to review your budget. I will review your projects. I used to be undersecretary. I know this stuff, right? Okay. And you're better than me. I'm a hustler, you're worse than me. So we will do the practical. So do you know that? I did budget with DTI, they won't allow me to do budget. I reported 6 months, they do that thing. Pero now there's dark. There's Alan. There's you. No, and the guys might environments, I said yesterday. Okay, I talked to another secretary also today. I want MAPABCD to soar with action. And you, we already saw it, but you want to do it more. Maybe you don't deserve it, but maybe you do. So they'll get you to it. If not, you tell us what, and maybe you still won't deserve it. Do you know what I mean? We are here businessmen. We're not here to do charity. We're here to do business to help people. You go next door lang, doon mo ma-pray, you can pray there if you want, di ba? We also like to pray. O sige, meron pa ba? Cesar, wala ka na? Wala na. Okay. You are good in this guy. You work with this guy.
Yeah, he's my son.
Oh my gosh. Then you're better.
Better version.
Don't
This is the appearance of Patin with him.
Yeah. Don't if you better than son.
They will not lend me money unless I have a son like this. Diba?
All right.
Patin with
Sir, you have so many military. How many people in your scope? Yung marami kang military sa
Veterans.
No, I have a department of my own, but I have also a cooperative.
Yeah, how many?
The cooperative is 27,000.
Yung are they working? Are they twiddling their thumbs? You know, I'll tell you, I'm pissed off with the private sector too. Because I see the Taiwanese, I see the Chinese, right? They work there. Isn't that true? Kaya yung tanong isa dito, are they tamad? Because they don't want that side. But we in this room, we gotta make more suggestions. O sige, so 27,000.
No.
Siguro, isip si Pamintuan, he never likes to listen to me. These little meetings when I'm having a meeting. That's always my friend. Ang tanong ko pare, 27,000. Pag-usapan natin yan, hindi sa malayo mo. Tayong dalawa lang, peer. Ano ginagawa niya? Ano baga? You know what I mean? We don't stop it. We did a job and we do it. You look at 27,000, like this Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. I have 4 million. Have they ever planned this? No. So I get it, nothing gonna plan. You see? So our job in MAPC is to catalyze and make it happen. You don't make it happen, do it happen. O sige, we gonna end the meeting na. O Tito, wala na. Ikaw, with your wine. Wala.
Thank you.
Edward Safety, he's the only one who predicted the Asian police threat. Wala na. Okay, I want to say this now. Rene. Ito na closing remarks ko. Cesar, I'm a generous man. So let me have your attention. Okay. All of you know, alam po ninyo, we in the private sector, we have many things. We also do more private than you. We're the ones who private. We're lazy, we do all bad things, but there's some good guys. You in the government, I think those are good, right? Okay. And what we want to do now is a relationship. Now I'm doing this because this group has been there for all these years. We never followed through with our respect. Wala. And then, few times I tried, like you talk to your Amapola, I brought him to that. He has no cash. How can you do that? So we want to pair up with him. And first of all, sometimes it turns out they don't work. But you at the top, right? We might have some ideas, right? Okay. And I have a guy called Rolly D. Rolly D that really roadmaps in many years. Look at the coconut roadmap. It's ridiculous. That's what we do it. Have you seen the roadmap? Coconut. Have you seen it? I know, have you seen that thing? But you can Rolly D. You know that. Okay, and for the rest of us, there's no one left here. Let us continue. Let's send the good guys in but it's also our fault. There are brothers who steal and smuggle and cut our things. We can't control them. But these are fewer. So 2 eggs are better than 1.
It's not 2 eggs. It's 2 eggs.
4 eggs.
4 eggs.
2 eggs.
4 eggs.
4 eggs. Unless you're abnormal. But 4 eggs, man.